Hallo, der Blind Spectator, für euch am Mikrofon und willkommen zu einem weiteren React. Wir sind hier auf dem Kanal von Watchmojo, wie man hier unten rechts sieht. Und wir schauen uns mal an, was denn laut Watchmojo die Top-Anime von 2020 waren. Mal schauen, ob ich davon überhaupt ein paar gesehen habe. Mal gucken.
This is Ashley with Watchmojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 anime of 2020. For this list, we'll be looking at the best anime to come out this year. As per tradition, sequel seasons and new properties are all fair game, just as long as they dazzled us with their execution. Fair warning though, we won't be including movies, so the exceptional Made in Abyss Dawn of the Deep Soul is out. Also, the final season of Attack on Titan won't be on here, since its late release date will qualify it for 2021's lineup. Were any of these your top picks for 2020? Or are there a few animated treasures you believe deserve a spot? Let loose with your personal list in the comments below, and as always you can catch me on Twitter at AshJBo, so head over there, give me a follow, and let me know which anime list you want to see next.
Okay.
Number 10. Keep your hands off Eizouken.
Kenn ich nicht.
A homage to anime past and present, while also putting the industry under a microscope, witnessing these three diverse high schoolers endeavor to craft their own animation was spellbinding from start to finish.
Okay.
While watching Sayaka's dry brand of humor run amok, as well as getting sneak peeks into how the trade operates, always makes for a great watch, the real draw here was the visuals. Leave it to Masaki Yuasa to create an anime within an anime, with zero dialogue that left us utterly breathless. Number 9, Great Pretender.
Kenn ich auch nicht. What the fuck?
One of the flashiest and well-polished explosions of a crime caper you're likely to come across, this globe-trotting extravaganza sees several conmen and women as they attempt to pull some of the craziest heists.
Okay.
With a rich love of
Klingt an sich gar nicht mal so
sizzling
interessant.
wit, as well as everything that Abby does, there's plenty to love here. It boggles the mind that it didn't reach a wider audience, but that just means it's destined to become a not-so-hidden gem. Number 8, Haikyuu to the top.
Das wiederum habe ich gesehen und kann ich absolut nachvollziehen.
Continuing to reach higher, the Flightless Crow's grand return certainly delivered with both the feels and the spikes. Both parts of this fourth season certainly hit the mark, especially when it came to Karasuno's ongoing match at the Spring Inter High.
Tatsächlich fehlen mir noch 5 Folgen. Habe ich gestern wieder weitergeguckt.
But also as people off the court. Did the animation soar in comparison to the final match against Shiratorizawa? Well, debatable. But what can't be denied was the overwhelming sense of optimism as the boys pushed themselves to become better athletes.
Shit, Spoiler!
Number 7, a certain scientific railgun T. The tragedy of this spin-off's threequel is that it might just be the best the Index franchise has ever produced, but due to being hampered by its fellow side stories, fans may not be aware just how on point Misaka's latest exploit was. In short, she brings the thunder. The battles are so fluid, gorgeously
keinen
animated,
einzigen davon
have so
gesehen.
much gravitas to them that it puts the main series to shame. If you have even a spark of curiosity, it's probably time to give the railgun a go.
Ist die Frage, sollte man dafür die Main Series gesehen haben? Sieht an sich echt nice
Number
aus.
6, Fire Force Season 2.
Habe ich auch gehört, dass der sehr gut sein soll. Den habe ich aber auch nicht gesehen. Mit der spontanen
Taking the
Selbstentzündung.
raucous, fiery fun of the original and packing in as much metal as possible, Shinra and Company 8's second outing has certainly had its fair share of bright spots, especially when it came to their ongoing battles against the White Clad. Not only did this season really push the fight scenes as far as they could go, but endeavored to really broaden the lore of this perpetually toasty world, and in doing so delivered a result that was somehow brighter with its comedy, but extremely dark with its subtext. Also, Charon catching the beam was fire. Pun intended. Number 5, Doro Hedoro.
Okay.
ちょうどいい時に来たね。もうちょいでこいつ全身虫になっちまうぜ。
Are you ready for the madness? Because
Geht.
this thing is what happens when you blend together batshit insanity, grunge, classism, and graphic violence into one melting pot, and sprinkle in one Amazon waifu for good measure. In order to find the man who turned his face reptilian, the well-meaning yet brutal Kaiman seeks out the sorcerers who use his home turf as target practice for their sinister spells.
これを届けに来たんだ。約束してただろ。友達の約束は守らないとな。
With his beastly and enigmatic bestie by his side, Kaiman's journey is one mired in demons, darkness, as well as the question of what defines one's identity. And again, it's got Noi in it. Number 4, my teen romantic comedy, Snafu, Climax.
私の依頼聞いてもらえるかしら。
It happened! It actually happened! In their own painfully pragmatic way, Hachiman and the Service Club got their happy ending, along with all the bitter consequences that came with it. In a shining farewell to the cynical trio we had all come to love, we not only saw a satisfying conclusion to one of modern anime's most contested love triangles, but also got to witness how they each overcame some personal demons.
勝負に勝った方が何でも言うことを聞かせる。それでいいのよね。
Whichever girl you rooted for, you'll be glad you watched this show.
Okay.
ヒッキーのお願いを叶えることかな。
Number 3, Kaguya-sama Love is War.
Kann ich auch
Season
absolut
2.
nachvollziehen. So großartig. Der war richtig toll. Da freue ich mich auch auf die nächste Staffel, falls mal wieder eine kommt.
The romance and the comedy was going to be on point. After all, the hilarious competition between Shinomiya and Shirogane as they endeavored to win each other's hearts had already ensnared us 1 year prior. That being said, we weren't ready for the feels this sequel dished out.
はいはい。よしよし。本当は不安だったんですよね。
Meine Schwester ist damit tatsächlich nicht so warm geworden,
I'm
glaube
sure
ich.
they left us laughing like loons at every opportunity, but the biggest strength was by far its touching character moments, especially when it came to Ishigami and his pained past. We can't wait to see them make a grand return, but please, warn us next time before you shatter us again.
まあ少しだけ頑張ってみるか。
石上優応援団に加入。
Number 2, ReZero starting life in another world.
Auch einer, den
Season
ich nie
2.
gesehen habe.
Just when we thought Subaru's suffering was at an end, along comes this twistedly tantalizing second installment, where it quickly became apparent that his death count had only just begun. Despite lacking that one blue Oni girl whose name we can't recall, this one more than delivered on the hype, exploring the very nerve of Subaru's character and the trauma he has accumulated over his many, many returns. We of course can't forget about Echidna and the other witches of sin, whose introduction elevated the lore of this world tenfold. Good luck out there, lad. Try not to get eaten by bunnies again. Before we reveal our number 1 pick of the year, here are a few honorable mentions that demand your attention. Sword Art Online Alicization, War of Underworld, Season 2.
Reizt mich irgendwie nicht mehr Sword Art Online. Ich weiß auch nicht
The
warum.
Misfit of Demon King Academy.
Den habe ich gesehen, der fand ich sehr cool. Der war nice. Kann ich nur empfehlen, auf jeden
Golden
Fall.
Kamui, Season 3.
Kenne ich nicht.
Dragon Quest, The Adventure of Dai.
Auch nicht gesehen. Wusste gar nicht, dass es von Dragon Quest ein Anime gibt. Aber um ehrlich zu sein, wundert es mich auch nicht.
Interspecies Reviewers.
Okay, ja. Den habe ich gesehen. Nicht komplett, muss ich sagen. Ich glaube, mir fehlen 5 Folgen oder so wieder.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the
Kann ich
bell
auch
to
noch
get
irgendwann nachholen.
notified about our latest videos.
Ja, aber bei der
You have the
Anime-Liste,
option
die
to
ich
be
noch gucken muss,
notified
ist
by
so lang.
additional
Es
videos
ist
or all
immer
of
wieder
them.
schwierig.
If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Jujutsu Kaisen. Storming its way through the gate onto the shonen scene, this shining jewel in Mappa's crown has firmly established itself as one of the frontrunners, and it's only just gotten started. While the concept
Das
of a
sieht
young
nach
rogue
gar nichts von mich
trained in the
aus.
dark arts by an institution of modern-day sorcerers in order to stop monstrous specters that feed on humans might sound a tad familiar. The fantastic animation, intriguing cast of jujutsu practitioners, and creative approach to the tropes all results in an exhilarating experience. You need to watch this for Gojo's flexes alone.
無料空所
But hey, what was your favorite anime of the year?
Nicht meins, auf jeden Fall. Aber da waren auf jeden Fall 3 dabei, die ich gesehen habe, oder sogar 4 und echt gut fand. Also von daher kann ich das nachvollziehen. Natürlich wie immer eine Menge, die ich nicht gesehen habe. Wie stimmt ihr denn mit der Liste überein? Gibt es noch irgendwelche Sachen, die ich auf jeden Fall gucken sollte? Würde mich freuen, wenn ihr da was dazu sagt. Und ich würde sagen, wir sehen uns dann beim nächsten Mal wieder. Haut rein!